Welcome back. Still looking at the subject of this nutrient called fiber that is always appearing on every healthy eating advice and health protection advice. We've been talking about why it is so important for us and the role of fiber in the body, how it works in our body, and how it reduces our risk of some conditions. Now we will continue our discussion around the sources of fiber and how you can increase your fiber consumption. There are different types of food fiber. There are some that we call the soluble and the insoluble fiber, the viscous and the non-viscous fiber, the fermentable and the non-fermentable fiber. If you are one of those people that read far and wide around health and food, you would see the different advantage of one over the other, the pros and cons of each one. So rather than focus on a particular one, it is better to just generally eat fibrous food products across board, because each one of these types of fiber that I mentioned plays a slightly different role in the body. So rather than focus on one, let's just get fiber from anywhere you find it. Just eat a wide variety of fibrous foods. Now, some good sources of fiber include fruits, vegetables, especially leafy vegetables, pulses. And when we talk about pulses, I mean legumes, beans, and things like that. Chickpeas, kidney beans, lentil, cowpea, fava beans, all of those different kinds of beans. Nuts and seeds. Yeah, your pumpkin seeds, your sunflower seeds, your sesame seeds. We call it, sesame seed. Some people call it tahini. All of those seeds are also high in fiber. Potatoes can be a high source of fiber if you cook it with the skin. So again, we're going back to preparation techniques. When we eat potatoes, whether sweet or normal potato, we tend to first peel it. And there is nothing wrong with us washing the potato, cooking it and eating it with the skin. Yes, I know that in Africa we say it's only animals that eat the skin of tubers, but that's not true. That is actually where the fiber is. Whole wheat flour. So if you are the type that use whole wheat flour to make your solids and have it with soup, or when you're buying baked products, buy those that are made with whole wheat. So whole bread. If you eat pasta in your family, switch to whole grain pasta, or they call it brown pasta. They're always available in the shops. If you're eating biscuits or crackers, switch to the whole wheat version. Whole wheat crackers, whole wheat digestive, OT biscuits, rather than just the plain standard ones that are made from refined flour. Then whole grains like oats for your breakfast, like barley, like sorghum, like millets, like teff, brown rice. All of these things are available in Africa and in tropical regions, as well as in developed world. You can always find a version. If you are in the developed world, it will be barley. If you are back in Africa, it will be sorghum or millet. They are in the same food category and they are all high in fiber. I hope I've given quite a range of examples that you can find in different parts based on your culture. Now, how can you start to improve your fiber consumption? First and easy, start to choose whole grain cereals. If you are the type that have porridge or cereals for breakfast, start to choose those that are whole grain cereals. Consider incorporating things like oats into your breakfast. Experiment with maize that has not been wet milled and sieved. Okay, I haven't tried that, but I think I've seen it somewhere before. It might be like at the beginning, you might not like the taste because you feel that it has that chaffy feel, but you get used to it in the end. We all learn and unlearn habits every day. Incorporate fresh fruits and vegetables into your food. I know every time I find myself in the midst of Africans or Black people and it's a gathering where there is food, the only thing that is left at the end of the day is the fruits and the salad. All the meat and carbohydrates is gone. You need to start to intentionally start to incorporate this into your food. Dice carrots into white rice when you're cooking it. Find creative ways when you're making a sauce for your meat. Put some spring onions, put some sliced onions. You're making yam porridge, which we call asharo in Nigeria. At the end of it, slice some spinach or kale. Very creative ways like this to start to incorporate vegetables into your diet. A lot of us are heavy rice eaters, a lot of jollof rice, a lot of fried rice, a lot of, all the battles of jollof rice. Yes. So this is a big opportunity. The fact that we eat a lot of rice is actually a big opportunity to increase our fiber, because you can switch that to brown rice. Brown rice performs well. Yes, the color might be slightly different at the beginning, but this is something that you can get used to over time. Like we said earlier, change from white bread and go to whole grain breads. If you find that too far field, you can get the middle point, which is wholemeal bread, where they mix some white flour with some brown flour. In the UK, they call it 50-50 bread. It gives you a balance of the two while you transition eventually to whole wheat bread. Even I haven't transitioned to whole grain bread up till now, but generally in my family for years, we've just settled on 50-50 breads. When it comes to juices, always choose to eat the fruits than to drink the juice. I'm not saying juice is bad for you. Juice is a source of vitamins, but when you eat the fruit, you eat the fiber. One of the ways of processing juice is that you express it and you sieve it, and by doing that, you've removed a lot of the fiber from the fruits. Start to learn to eat potatoes and some of these tubers with the skin on. Yes, cook it with the skin on. It's not the end of the world. I know you're going to attack me when you see me like you want us to eat like goats. No, it's just a new way of eating. Now, when you're cooking meals that need to have sauce, we used to do a lot of plain red sauce in Africa. Try to do a lot of sauces and soups that have a lot of vegetables. And when you're making your meals, reduce your starchy carbohydrates and increase. Let your vegetables be like half of your plate, while your carbohydrate is just a quarter of your plate. Or your your vegetable is a third of your plate. Your carbohydrate is just like a quarter, and the rest is your protein. And you can do this by doing them in sauces, in stews, in curries, or as sides. Now, another tip is to always keep supply of frozen vegetables in your freezer. Freezing doesn't remove fiber from products. Freezing doesn't reduce the nutritional quality of products generally. So it's a very, very good thing to actually have frozen fruits or vegetables. So there won't be an excuse that, I couldn't go out. You can always put peas in your jollof rice. I've tried that a lot of times and it's delicious. So if you always have a stock of frozen vegetables, it's easy for you to able to incorporate it into your meals. Add pulses like beans, like lentils into curries, into stews, and sometimes having canned beans if you live in the developed world where we have it, because the issue with these beans products and pulses is that they take a long time to cook, and it's one of the reasons why a lot of us don't do it, because I cannot spend 1 hour cooking beans, not even in these days of energy crisis. So one of your options is to do canned beans, canned kidney peas, canned lentils, canned chickpeas. There's a lot of them. Canning as well is one of those methods with this kind of products that preserve the nutrient because it is not ultra processed. So note of warning though, if you are somebody who has not been consuming fiber and you want to increase your fiber intake, don't do it drastically, otherwise you will suffer bloating. It's better to just introduce it gradually and increase it as you go. I hope you found this useful. For more information, check my reference links in the description section. And if you have any further questions, please feel free to drop them in the chat. I hope I haven't taken too much of your time. I wanted to give you a lot of examples, and I hope that I managed to do that in this video. I'll see you in the next video where we're going to be exploring another trend or fad or perception. I haven't figured that out yet. See you later. Bye.